Hey guys, it's your coach of the Toronto Staraptors, Zex. We're facing Lee of the Portland TrailBlazikens this week. Lee has 6-0'd me twice, and that's a lot because I don't get 6-0'd a lot, right? First time was with a Calm Mind Stored Power Latios when I was still new, Latios. And the second time was with a Wobbuffet, which sucked. Right, so going into this week, I figured, alright, no 6-0, easy. So his team consists of Tapu Bulu, Hydreigon, Silvally, Azelf, Komala, Minior, Manectric, Mega Mawile, Nidoking, Slowbro, Conkeldurr, and Wishiwashi. This is a pretty solid team, if you ask me, right? Tapu Bulu is like hard hitter. Mega Mawile basically has no answers. Nidoking 2 basically has 0 answers, and obviously you've got Big Conk and Wishiwashi in there. Mwah. Right? For the team, we have our badass motherfucker Terrakion, right? It's a setup Terrakion with Sword Stance, EQ, Poison Jab, and Close Combat. Poison Jab obviously for Bulu. And I had Fight Tinium Z on it because it just bopped everything, right? Except for like Slowbro, but at +2 it did like 50%, so I was like, okay, that's not bad. I didn't have Rock Stab on here because I figured the Bulu, the Silvally, if it came with like maybe grass typing, would be bad. The Nidoking and like Conk would eat, and Mawile. So I figured let's not bring Rock Slide, instead bring EQ. But I was kind of dumb and forgot that he has a Levitate user and Tapu Bulu with EQ with grassy terrain that reduces EQ by half. Then you've got Suicune that just does Suicune things, eats hits, pressure stalls, subs, spreads toxic, scalds, everything. It's crept for Bulu, for Tapu Bulu, but it's crept for a Tapu Bulu that's creeping it, so that was kind of cool. We've got Gligar here. It's just a Mega Mawile answer because Mega Mawile is insane. EQ, Stealth Rock, U-Turn, and Roost. This thing was always going to be faster, unless the Mawile was Jolly, but there's no way he would run that. If it had Ice Punch too, that would be kind of bad, but I figured he might just have Knockoff instead, with like Play Rough, and that would just do more than enough. We've got Beyblade the Fortress, our Tapu Bulu answer. Eats hits from it for days, and it was with death to eat a Hidden Power Fire if he brought a special Bulu for some reason. It was, pretty standard set. Spikes instead of rocks, because Gligar had it. No Rapid Spin, which is kind of interesting. I didn't have any removal, because his hazards kind of suck. Right, he's only really got Toxic Spikes and then Rocks, which it doesn't really affect me too much. Then you've got Drop a Draco, the Latios, right? Calm Mind, Dragon Pulse, Psyshock does work, with Roost too. Only things that really stop it are like Scarf Hydreigon and like Mega Mawile with Sucker Punch. Oh, and Slowbro, but Dragon Pulse did work to Slowbro, so it wasn't too big of a deal. Then for our last Pokemon, we had Big Mouth the X-Cloud. Going into this week, I did make a transaction, Linoon for X-Cloud. Linoon nothing really lets it set up too much from what I'm seeing. And most people will have a soft check to it, or like an answer, and I don't really like how one trick pony it is. And we needed more immediate damage, so I figured, yeah, let's just pick it up. What else? Yeah, it's just a standard set. It's crept for Bulu, because creeping Bulu was really important to me here, but that ended up being kind of pointless in the end, right? So we've got Boom Burst, Flamethrower, Extra Sensory, and Ice Beam. So let's hop into the battle here. Okay. So on the load screen, let me put on slow and just, pause whenever. So on the loading screen, I figured he would 100% lead with Nidoking, or maybe Scarf Hydreigon. because of well, just Hydreigon. I didn't know what set it was. So the reason why he'd lead Nidoking is because I might lead Fortress, and it's a pretty solid answer to it. So just figured why not, right? He leads Nidoking. I decide let me just lead Latios because it answers both of those. And I figured let me just Dragon Pulse because I thought he'd bring in Hydreigon on the Psyshock. He doesn't. So brings out his Mega Mawile, subs. That scared the crap out of me. So I bring out my Beyblade, my Fortress, and I just click Volt Switch, but that was really stupid because of Fire Fang. Which brought my Fortress down to 1%, obviously because it's sturdy, which sucked because I kind of needed it for Bulu and also for Spikes because he had no. I think his only defogger was Hydreigon, but I don't know how. Like the momentum that he loses by clicking defog was already really nice for me, so it was a pretty big loss on my part. I just bring out my Gligar, easy answer. EQ, break the sub, and I just click U-turn on the Bulu switch. I bring out my Fortress here just as a sack. There's no way he was living anything unless he like missed a move. He clicks Stone Edge, nothing you can really do. Right here, I bring out my Big Mouth, right, my Axepod. And I figure let me just click Boom Burst because it'll do massive damage to everything. Right, he just clicks Protect to Scout, and then he clicks Horn Leech and manages to outspeed me, which is really interesting. Right, so I knew it was somewhat crept, right, for my Suicune, which is already really scary. Right, so I click Boom Burst. It doesn't kill from full, which kind of sucked, but it's no biggie. And I figure, okay, let me just keep this around for the sack, because there's no way it was living anything from any of these mons. Right? So, I bring in my Latios, because it eats anything it threw at me. Right? I just decide, alright, I'll roost up the damage here, because whatever comes in, I'll just, full Latios is better than a weakened Latios. So here I predict the Toxic, and I go into my Gligar, and then I predict the Ice Beam, go into my Suicune, solid play, free sub. Right? I get my free sub up. He brings in his Conk, and then we just do Suicune things. Protect on him, just get some health back, and pressure stall. Right? Then I Toxic it to get some more stall. Just Suicune things. Oh, actually, that was important. So I Toxic, right? Here he decides, all right, let me swap into my Bulu. Well, his Bulu. He swaps into his Bulu. I just get the sub up, and we're in a pretty good situation here because I can just Toxic whatever comes in if he decides to swap. We get a Toxic up on his Bulu. He manages to outspeed, so he had a ridiculous amount of creeping here. My Suicune had 24 speed, right? It wasn't timid, so there is that, right? So it had 212 investment. So at bare minimum, right? He had 108 speed on his Bulu to creep my Suicune, which was kind of insane, right? We're gonna get into how much he actually had at the end, but this is pretty nutty, right? So we've got Bulu here. I decide to just try and get another sub up, right? Because the play was to go into Latios because it ate anything it had, but for some reason I thought sub made you slower, so I just clicked sub again, which was actually retarded because I already knew it was faster. So I go into sub, I click sub. I just want to get some health back, so I protect, right? Just pretty standard Suicune things. I protect again, wanting to get some free chip from Toxic and standard Suicune things. And we just go into a stall fest with the Conk. The Conk actually did pretty solid work because it got me pretty low. Just sub protect, he pops his Mach Punch, blah blah blah. Right? Here he gets me to below sub range, which was solid off of him. I just protect because that was a play. Get me. That got me to a sub, right? Got me to the range where I can sub again. And I just bring in my Latios again to eat a Horn Leech. Here, I think I Calm Minded. I'm almost. No, I Psy Shocked. No, I Calm Minded. Oh my god. So I Calm Mind here. The Mawile was really scary, so I just brought in my Gligar. No brainer there. Right, I click Stealth Rock here, because I just wanted some free chip, right? Because I wanted to get the Terrakion sweep. I bring in my Latios to scare it out, right? And also, he clicked Earth Power here, right? I just want to sack my X-Cloud, because I didn't want anything taking damage. So I bring in my Latios, just to scout if he's Scarfed. And it kind of showed that he might be Scarfed, because of the Earth Power. Like, he couldn't swap out. But then I realized if he's Life Orb, yeah. So I click Psyshock. So I click Psyshock here, expecting a switch. No, I didn't. I clicked Psyshock just cause. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking there. He brings in his Bulu. I click Dragon Pulse to get some damage off. Cause I thought he'd bring in his Hydreigon again. I don't know. So here I figured, let me just start setting up. He reveals his last move to be Leech Seed, which is no biggie for me, because I have Roost already. So I set up a Calm Mind, I just click Psyshock, get some damage off on the Mawile. It's great. We're chilling. So we bring out our Gligar, easy answer, like usual. I can just Roost up the damage. So I do that, right? I Roost up. And here I figure, okay, so he clicked Earth Power last time. He'll probably click Ice Beam this time because he thinks I'm just gonna bring in like my Latios or something. Because Latios was in killing range, right? And so was this. So I figured, alright, bring in the Terrakion. Easy clap. He clicks Rocks instead of Ice Beam, which I thought he clicked Ice Beam for some reason. And he brings out his Tapu Bulu here. Right, I just clicked the EQ to try and kill the Nido. Pretty fair play off of him. Right. He brings in a Slowbro. I just click Poison Jab. I reveal that. The Slowbro actually ate everything that Terrakion threw, so I kind of wish I had X-Scissor instead of EQ, but no biggie. I bring in my Latios. I figure, okay, I can probably just sack this thing to Slowbro, possibly get some more damage out. Right, I think he just started spamming Toxic just in case I swapped, so I just clicked Dragon Pulse. I started setting up, and then I clicked Dragon Pulse one more time to get into range of the Terrakion sweep. So here I'm like, okay, he might think that I'm Z, right? So I try and scare this thing out, because I couldn't actually kill him at this range. So I bring out my Terrakion, I'm like, okay, he's going to swap 100%. So I just decide, bam, Sword Stance. So I pop up a Sword Stance, which is fat, right? Plenty of pressure here, plenty. So I set up the Sword Stance, Poison Jab the Bulu, easy clap. Right, he brings out his Nidoking here, and I click EQ because, that was my only play there. I couldn't bring out anything else because he just killed. And I got the lowest of lowest rolls. It was like 70-30 in my favor, I think. I think that's what the calc was. 70-30 in my favor. He had no investment, which kind of sucked. And he just kills me back, which again kind of sucked. So just bring in my Suicune. P1 at this point, right? He can just Sludge Wave and then Ice Beam. So that was a GG. A bunch of misplays, right? Getting Suicune so low, stacking my Fortress, it happens. Lee's really good, so, what do you expect, right? And yeah, that was kind of the game. Yeah. Bye, boys.